Welcome to the Level Up Your Band podcast, episode 28. Hello, and welcome back to the Level Up Your Band podcast. My name is Gavin Patterson, and I'm with Julian Pombo.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How's things with you?
Oh, just the same old.
I'm loving how every time
Gigs
we do
getting
this,
cancelled.
your mic changes position. It's like,
I know,
today
I'm
is
just trying
side on.
Yeah, next week it's just going to be dangling from the ceiling,
Yeah.
It's space. I'm just experimenting with so when I have it right in front of me, it's just a little bit like I'm kind of like really far away from my computer and it's just a bit awkward. So
I feel like I'm further
I thought
right
I'd
than
try
usual.
the sort of.
I feel like you've placed me further right than usual. I can see more of your house
I have.
than usual.
Oh right, okay.
I can see a piano. Couldn't see that before.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on and everything.
That's cute.
Aye.
I know. So if I ever get bored, I can just what you call it? I can just apply some nice dramatic keys to the entire podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I don't know.
Have a wee story
Soundtrack it
time
all.
segment or something. Anyway, how was your rehearsal, your wedding band rehearsal that you're not having any gigs for?
Yeah, I know. I actually asked them. I actually asked Gilbert during the rehearsal. I was like, "Oh, so how are we looking for bookings?" And he was just like,
Don't ask silly questions.
No, they just keep getting cancelled. We've got ones in October and November and things like that, and I'm like, nah, they're not going ahead.
Yeah, same. Every week we get more cancellations for this year. I think we're down to 5 left. I think less than 5. I haven't checked.
Yeah,
because it's
we've
depressing.
got our Christmas run. Our Christmas run's intact at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see. That would be a Christmas miracle if we got to.
Oh yeah.
Gig in December, but
as a result, I think last time I checked, we're up about 67 now weddings booked
next year.
for next year. Yeah, I think it's 67.
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
just it's put half of this year's onto next year's as well. I'm not gonna have any sleep for the whole of 2021.
I mean, I'm trying to look on the bright side of it. Is that it's kind of a blessing that we have this time to sort of. Because for a long time we couldn't meet up. It's quite good to have that time to sort of work on our set and get it sounding good. And we're trying out loads of different songs, and we're doing, coming up with some new medleys and ideas and things like that. So that's the positive.
Yeah.
And I get to play music with other people again. So that's been that's been another exciting thing.
I still haven't done that yet.
Been writing. No.
Let me see. So today is the 18th of August, and the last time I played with other human beings was the 14th of March. It's dire, absolutely dire. So hopefully we're gonna get something sorted soon. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the topic. So
Yes.
the sort of topic of this episode is it's all about video and how you can use that tool in various ways. So something that it's become massive to the point where it's silly to do anything else. But every band should be doing video.
I mean,
right now and for the future.
It's been like this since the inception of MTV.
Pretty
like the
much,
Buggles
yeah.
said, video killed the radio star.
That's very true.
But
video, it hasn't really been obviously MTV changed things
Yeah.
because every pop star had to have a music video. I mean, music videos have been around for a very long time. They've been around since the 60s
Yeah.
and even before. But
Uh-huh.
not so much music video, but just video content in general since the internet happened.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about it didn't really happen until YouTube started to become popular. YouTube wasn't really popular until about 2008 or 9, because YouTube came out in 2005. I'm old enough to remember a world without it. I know I look so young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally not nearly 30.
You do, man.
So
It's those curls.
yeah. So the reason I bring this up is because there are some. I see it. I'm guilty of it as well. There are some people who are not fully utilizing that fact. The fact that video is dominating everything right now. It's just like, if you're not doing it, you're doing it wrong. So, and the thing now, the technology has gotten so good that anyone can record a decent quality video.
Yeah.
With their phone.
Uh-huh.
Phones, when I was in high school, my phone, I'm trying to think the megapixel thing. I don't even think it didn't.
2 or 4 megapixels.
No, far less than that. I think it was down to kilopixels. It wasn't
right.
It wasn't even a full megapixel. It was dreadful. Like, you could barely make it out. And that's how it was. Like, it was just like, it's barely a camera. But now, I mean, the iPhone 11, 10, 11, I think there was a Lady Gaga music video. She shot the whole thing on an iPhone 10. It's like, what? Just to, I don't know, just to make a point or something. I don't know, maybe like, if Lady Gaga can make a music video on an iPhone 10, then you can.
Hey, sorry, I don't know what happened there. And also, I'm sorry I had to run away. It was basically the glass recycling bin collection is like every 56 days in Glasgow.
Right. Okay.
So I heard the van and I heard like the sound of like glass like smashing, and I was like, oh, I need to get out now. So
well, we just experienced the most horrendous lag I've ever seen. It was you just basically in the middle of the frame going like this, stuck for like 5 minutes.
Nice.
So we'll try and continue on.
They took my bin. They took my bin, Gavin. I'm so happy. It's been full for so long.
That's how you know when you're near your 30s, when you get excited about the bins coming.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Okay, so yeah, recording and releasing video for social media.
Yes.
Is
indeed
kind of what you should be doing all the time. And I would argue in place of some stuff that you used to do before, like posts and stuff. So it's a perfect way of remaining top of mind. So around 2000 and is it 13 or 14? When did Vine come out? Do you remember that?
Oh,
2012? 13?
I think it was earlier than that, because I remember it coming out when I was in high school, so it was like 2011 maybe.
Really?
A quick Google search.
Yeah. So Vine,
if
anyone remembers, was that video hosting thing where it was like comedy videos and little short things, and it really took off.
2013.
Popularized the video content world, and lots of things came out of it. Things like the popularity of Instagram really swelled after it died. After Vine disappeared, Instagram just went boom.
Yeah, and now we also have things like, and Musical.ly as well, but then Musical.ly died and then it became TikTok, and now TikTok is like a mishmash of Vine and Musical.ly.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
Yep. So you started to see bands producing a lot more video content, not just music videos. I mean, video updates, like band updates, behind the scenes, stuff like this. So the best way to keep in touch with fans is through social media, and the best way to use social media is to record videos on it. So stories came up. I don't know how old stories are. Stories, I think maybe 2015 or 2016 or something when they come up. But stories was a great thing because you can make like daily or hourly updates, depending on what you're doing. And it's all media. It's not just written posts, although it can be. But my point is, people engage better with faces, as we've said before.
Yeah, 100%.
Rather than a big old boring block of text on your post. So no one wants to see a big block of text. I just like when you're scrolling through and you see this big block of text and you're like, oh, do I really want to? Sometimes you look at the comments first to see what people are saying. You're like, nah, I'm not going to read it. I can't be bothered. I'm really lazy when it comes to that. I'm so bad.
You're not the only one, man.
If I don't get the point of the thing in the first 10 seconds, in fact less, 5 seconds, I'm gone. It just bores me.
The real caveman test.
Yeah, it works. It's so bad. We say that about websites. Like, if you can't figure out the point of the website in 3 seconds, you've failed.
Actually, you should apply that to. I never thought about applying that to like social media posts, but I guess you're right. Like, you get the point across in 5 seconds, and if you look at a post and you're like, I don't know, I'm not sure what that means or what that's supposed to say, then it's failed as a post, and do it again.
Yep.
And
video, I would argue, will hook you faster and for longer because there's a person's face there. So maybe a block of text, maybe if you can't understand the point within 3 seconds, you scroll down. If you see a face talking with subtitles, it'll maybe hold you for 5 or 6 seconds or 7 seconds, and then if it gets to the point really fast, you can get right on with it. But that's for like updates and stuff. So when we had Liam Shortle on episode 21.
Yeah, that was a good
episode.
I enjoyed that.
He tried out a model for a year with his band of releasing regular videos, 1 video every 3 weeks. And he kind of fell into that structure, and as a result of it, learned that is like the best format for doing anything now online is regular, reliable. I think I mentioned
depending on the.
Say again.
I was just going to say it depends on the medium. Obviously, like how long it's gonna. So 3 weeks, every 3 weeks for like a music project kind of makes sense. Whereas like you wouldn't be able to do daily videos unless you're an actual workaholic or a maniac.
Yeah, got a big team behind you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or I know Adam Neely. If you haven't heard of Adam Neely, go subscribe because he's an excellent YouTuber. It's just music theory, music history stuff. It's really cool. But he releases videos like once a week.
Once a week, yeah.
And there's some music in there, but most of it is. The majority of it is educational. So yeah, it just depends on the medium you're working with,
Right. But this whole thing is fairly old. I made this point on that podcast on episode 21 that there is an industry that's been using that format for decades and decades and decades, and that's the TV industry with regular weekly scheduled programs or daily scheduled soaps or programs or whatever. They've been utilizing that routine. Human beings love routine. Even cats love routine. It's so deep in psychology that like take advantage of it. If you can, your band now, we're getting away from weekly updates. Instead of a post form like a video form, we're getting into like actual video content, actual music. So depending on what level, Liam's videos were very highly produced, and well recorded and well mixed and mastered and everything all put together. But they weren't like massive, huge budget. And he filmed everything, I think, in one shot. So from start to finish,
it was like
just
one roaming shot.
One continual shot. So I think it was one camera person, and Liam set up all the mics in his flat and recorded the audio, and the videographer came in just with one camera and a gimbal and just recorded in the whole song in one shot, stop, and then they went away and edited the video. Liam mixed and mastered the audio and sent it off to the videographer, synced it up together, and released it. It's not a huge amount of work. It's still more amount of work than just setting up an iPhone and then playing an acoustic guitar video. But, I mean, you could have like multi-cameras and engineers and just effects and all this stuff. I mean, they had really cool effects, like they would superimpose images and videos onto surfaces like TVs and stuff in his flat.
So they had just little green screen panels in his flat.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
So, I mean, there are certain things you can do. But the point was, if you say you're a solo artist or the lead singer in your band can release a weekly video, or you and your pal from your band can get together and do a little acoustic demo in your flat and just set up a camera or whatever. But if it becomes regular and it's well produced and people like it, and you know, you actually make some effort, do some research, if it's regular, people will start to, as Liam said, people started saying to him like, "Oh, I'm really looking forward to this Friday or whatever it was for your video." And he's like, "Oh, people are actually waiting on it. They're actually looking forward to it." Because he didn't. He expected to have to like you know, this spamming thing. Anyone who runs a band knows, like when you post something, it's like constant spamming. Oh, look at this new video. Look at this new song. Blah blah blah. You know, spam. Send to all your friends. He didn't have to do that so much later on because it was kind of, people were expecting it. It was just good quality, and he was giving it regularly. So that's something you can do. Even like, I mean, that's what we are doing now with this podcast. Are you having trouble with a cat or something? I recommend a bullet.
Yes, I am. Sorry. You know what? That sounds like a good idea. What do you think, Hazel?
Of course it's Hazel.
A bullet to your... Yeah, of course it is. Jess never gives me any problems. She'll just settle down and sleep somewhere. And Hazel's she's at the moment, she's on the bookcase. There you go. I don't know if you saw that, but she was on the bookcase and she was just rolling around, knocking things off. Yep. And now she's at my feet and she's rubbing her face on all the XLR cables, and it's her new thing that she likes to do.
No, that's not nice. Anyway,
no
cats.
I'm not having a cat again.
So
you're my first and my last.
Next point. If you're
this is a very chaotic episode.
If you're in a band and multiple members, a lot of things I see, the whole Instagram drummer thing, which is a thing. It's posting covers or posting practice. So there's some friends of mine do this. They'll set up a camera. Maybe they've got a room in their house where they just have a camera and a drum kit set up at all times, and they'll just go in their practice session and play out some rudiments or whatever, or some groove they've been working on, and post it up on their band page or their personal page. That's something just every band should be doing all the time. Videos like that, like this is how I came up with this solo for this song, or I'm working on this jazz lick, or look at this cool cover I've got, or I'm doing an acoustic version of a song that you guys know from our last release. Just That's
actually
that kind of stuff's really cool, I think, personally.
Yeah, everybody's kind of doing that. Duran, actually, 80s band, was doing that. It was John Taylor, the bass player. It's really good videos, actually. He was just putting up videos on Instagram and on YouTube, being like, hey, so here's how to play some of my, some of my favorite Duran songs,
Yep.
So here's how I came up with a bass line for Planet Earth, and here's how I wrote Girls on Film and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, and the thing with it is, it's allowing, we've said this before, it's allowing people to see a side of you that they might not necessarily see through a post. They're usually, in the old days, if someone wanted to see the band, they have to come see you live or listen to a record. Now they can have direct access to you pretty much anytime you feel like it. And that's where Facebook and YouTube Live comes in. So this is something I've seen a lot of people do over lockdown, and I think they will continue to do after lockdown is over.
Yeah.
Is Facebook Live rehearsal jams. I've seen a few people do that in the past.
There's a lot of people who've started live streaming their gigs as well. Actually, doing actual live streamed gigs with tickets and all of that. It's insane.
That is cool. So could you, in theory, set up in a rehearsal studio, make it look nice, take a line out of the mixing desk, put it into an interface, send that to Facebook Live, and hook up to a video camera and record the proper audio?
Yeah.
Right.
Or you could do it through I don't know what Facebook Live is like for compressing audio and things like that. I think you probably want to go for Twitch or a proper streaming site. But that's basically the idea. If you can hook it all up, set all the levels for the stream and then just stream it. All you really need is a stable internet connection, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you don't even need to, you don't need to charge tickets for it as well. You can totally open it to strangers, and people will donate on the stream and things like that.
But you don't even need to do it live. You can just record it in a rehearsal setting, set up a camera, and instead of using the camera audio, you can take an interface to the rehearsal in a laptop and record the stereo output from the mixing desk inside the rehearsal studio. And I've done loads of stuff like that and gotten really good sounds. I did it at a gig once. I took just a stereo line out of my mixer at a gig, and you wouldn't believe the quality of audio. It's actually really good. It's like, wow, that's excellent. And hooked up to a video camera, and I was well impressed. It's actually really easy to do. If you've got a 2-track, 2-channel stereo interface and a laptop, that's it. That's all you need, and a couple of XLR cables, maybe a couple of jacks. Yeah, so once you've got your recorded video from a rehearsal and your audio and stuff, it might seem daunting, and it can be if you don't know anything about it, but you can get fairly, we've talked about this before, I can't remember what you said, what video editing software you use?
What video editing software I use?
Yeah.
At the moment, I am using I'm using a program called DaVinci Resolve.
Okay.
I think the latest version is DaVinci Resolve 16. It's totally free. It's for the fact that it's free, it's ridiculously professionals use it. It's not like a it's not like a crappy free video editor. It's ridiculous. There is like a more premium version that you can get, but the thing that it kind of gives you is the kind of things that like actual professionals would care about, you know, like really in depth, like color correction, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, it's really good, and it has lots of different options for you as well. So you can upload straight to YouTube from the.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like instead of like, so usually you would have to like you edit the video, then you render it, and then you upload it. You can just do a straight render and upload straight away.
That's pretty cool. But if you're new to this kind of making videos and syncing audio and stuff, it can be a bit kind of crazy.
Yeah, honestly, it's. I should have said as well that it's quite straightforward. Like the UI user interface is like really, really easy to understand and really easy to follow. So for anybody that's looking for something that's like serious, you know, I would go for that. And the thing as well is that if you're used to working like a DAW or something like that, you know, they all share very similar features, characteristics, and things like that. So you'll find a lot of things that are quite similar. Oh, look, here's my timeline, and here's the length of the video, and oh, look, there's the audio waveform, things like that, and you can just it's
all kind of very similar.
You will be pleasantly surprised.
And you can get some video editing for your phone as well. So, I mean, you don't even need a laptop these days. You can just fire it up, sync it up on your phone. I mean, I've tried to do it on my phone. It's mind-blowingly frustrating and slow and annoying, but it can be done. But
it's because you
do it on your laptop if you've got one. There's some people don't even have computers nowadays, believe it or not. They just have a tablet.
No, that's true. People just have tablets things. So.
Could not survive without a PC. Couldn't do it. Doing all the content releases and stuff. Having a recording studio aside, obviously I couldn't. Well, having said that, I recorded for like 5 or 6 years on a laptop. So there. I had 2 laptops. I bought a laptop in 2011 and recorded for like 4 years on that. And then I bought a laptop in 2015 and recorded until 2018. And then I bought my big bad boy PC, which is what's running now. So bands would come in and go, "Are you using a laptop to record bands?" I'm like, "Yep." It was like, that's all I can afford. So yeah, I mean,
man,
I could do it. I could record 24 tracks, 24 channels at the one time on a laptop, on an HP laptop with Windows 7. I could do that. So you don't need big pricey gear. It might be hell of a frustrating and slow, but it can be done if you've got perseverance, and hopefully you can save up and get a better rig later on. So with that, we'll move on to back to something we mentioned at the start, the whole update video. So Instagram has become the sort of king of social media right now. YouTube aside, I think YouTube's always been a different. They say it's a social media, but it's kind of is and kind of isn't.
It's weird.
Depends.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't class it the same personally.
Yeah, they've tried to make it more of a social media now with like channels. Like I think it's channels over 1,000 subs can make posts.
Yeah.
To YouTube, and there's YouTube stories and all that kind of stuff. So
Google's really bad at social media. They tried. Do you remember Google Plus.
Google Plus,
or this is just awful.
Or whatever.
Google
it was,
Plus
yeah.
was supposed to compete with Facebook. It just failed out off the start line.
There's some people that I know that were still using things like Google Hangouts and
it still exists. Google Hangouts.
And I was just like, why? What? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So this fly is annoying me. I've got this little buzzy fly that just keeps flying around. You can hear it in the microphone. I'm very sorry.
I'll trade you a fat cat for a fly.
I just saw her face there. It was hilarious. Oh, this episode is just an absolute flaming train wreck. Anyway, so moving on. So instead of writing posts, making videos instead of posts. So how many times have we in bands written a big essay for a post when it should have been a goddamn video? Like you can count more than a dozen times that we've done that. And in hindsight, it's like maybe in future we should just record a video. It seems like a no-brainer. Everyone else is doing it, and especially on Instagram, because you can't write big, long-winded posts on Instagram. You have to do video or pictures. So I think I have a sneaking suspicion that the reason why we're seeing so much video releasing is twofold. It's because phones are getting better and it's not pixelated mess anymore. And Instagram is now the most popular social media platform. And you can't post words on it. So people are gravitating towards pictures and videos, and maybe people are just becoming more open to just doing video updates instead. That's just a theory. Who knows? But I think it's for the better, personally, because see the old Facebook posts with the 100, 200 characters, and it just bores me. So anything that you can make into a video, just do it. Just record a little script. Get a couple of... I remember seeing this like years ago, maybe like 10 years ago. Bands would do this, like they would go to like lo-fi studios and then like do a time lapse of them walking down the steps and into a rehearsal suite, and then they would be sitting on the couch going, "Hi, we are blah blah blah. This is what we are going to do in the next month," and it just felt really awkward and scripted and stuff. So rather than having an actual script that you're like word for word going for, have it sort of like bullet points, like you're just so that it's more free flowing. We kind of did that for. We're doing it for every podcast, but we also did it for some of our Patreon videos. We had kind of bullet points that we had to hit, but it wasn't like word for word. See, when it's a word for word script, that's when all the mistakes come out.
Yeah.
Like, because you're so focused on certain words, you're like, is this even a word? Like, you see a word so many times, it's like, now it just loses all its meaning. You just forget what you're actually talking about. Can be funny, though.
Yeah, it can be. It makes for some great bloopers. But yeah, like generally, what was I going to say? I did have something that I wanted to say about writing scripts. Yeah, the way we did it was just like brief bullet point about what you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
You know? And then just keep it natural. Do a couple of takes and you'll find one that works.
Yeah. It's something that we've started doing on our Patreon is updates of what we're doing for our EP and stuff. Maybe stuff we wouldn't want to share like publicly, just to the patrons. So if you have a Patreon page, like 100% just video updates. Oh, we're just in the studio just now, we're just laying down some tracks, whatever. See if you do that, it'll just get so much more engagement. It's a constant battle. But we'll move on to the sort of final point, and something that's kind of touching on like the sort of MTV style, the actual full, thousands of pounds worth of production, big music videos. So you've done at least one. I think I've done maybe two.
Yeah,
full production.
Well, and it wasn't thousands of pounds, but we had somebody that we knew what it should, like, they knew what they were doing,
Yeah.
you know. So and obviously we've done little, you know, show reels for wedding bands and things like that. It's kind of similar. So certainly when I've done them, things that I certainly noticed that were very important is get somebody who knows what they're doing. So don't, you know, it might be very tempting to get your cousin, you know, your second cousin who's like held a camera once to do it for free, or, you know, for like a 6-pack of beer. But you're going to be better off getting somebody who actually knows how to, you know, has decent gear, knows what they're doing, you know, is basically a professional. And it will cost a bit more money, but the payoff is much better if you do that. Picking a location is important as well. We did one, it was like in an old 19th century like factory down in like the Barrowlands. I think it was like a bagpipe factory. And yeah, so we filmed it in there. And that was really cool. And the person we were working with, she was great. She just had she had listened to the song. She had talked with this was with Austin. She had talked with Austin, and like they kind of she already had some really good ideas for what she wanted to do, and things like that. So that was great. Like the last thing you want is to hire. This applies to everything, you know. Even like, I guess, like even like I don't know. I would apply this to like you know, if you're going into a recording studio and you're recording something, I'd rather go in and have somebody, you know, work with somebody who's like, you know, is going to input on it as well, you know, rather than being like, yeah, okay,
yeah,
whatever, yeah, we can do that, yeah.
My opinion is if you're getting anything done, like say a video, I'm less familiar with prices on videos, but if you're going to a recording studio and the guy's like, oh, is it 3 songs you're doing? Okay, I'll do it for £200, fully recorded, fully edited, fully mixed, and fully mastered. I'll do it for £200 on the day. Run. Just run away. Don't do it. It's a trap.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
But
no.
Personally, like, it seems like, oh, well, you know, it's my artistic vision. I don't want somebody to, you know, put their fingerprint on it or whatever. It's my pretentious West End voice.
Okay.
Did I get you?
It's almost a Glasgow Uni accent.
I don't know. Yeah, Glasgow Uni. But you know, don't be like that. Just it's better to work with somebody, you know, who knows their medium and then and has ideas, you know, and you can discuss them, you know, and you can talk to them about it, and so yeah, that was really good. Well, anything else I would say about that? Get there early, especially if you're going to use, you know, natural daylight and things like that, which is what we did. We actually filmed a lot of the same, because we the song has very sort of like dualistic kind of theme, you know, like light and dark, you know, good versus evil, that kind of thing. So we recorded a lot during the day, and then basically recorded the same scenes, even though we were knackered, like at night and with like red lights and stuff, and made it look all grungy and cool and interesting. So just be aware of that, you know, that kind of thing. Have a think about like, okay, we're only going to have so much daylight this day, so you might have to like record it over 2 days or whatever.
If you're working with someone who's like professional, that'll all
already
be
know.
covered. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember being in a band once, and we were trying to get a video done. We wanted to get we had a really great song, and we wanted to do a single release, and we wanted a really high budget, sort of professional looking thing. And we approached a company that we knew of that did this thing, and they had like multi angle, like proper camera crew. There was maybe like 5 or 6 of them, and they had like steady cams, so it's like the camera that straps to your body, and they can hold it, and it's like a gimbal on yourself, and you can walk around. They had train tracks with cameras moving along like in a film set. Like that's the level of stuff they were going to do. We're going to shoot it in a rooftop. We're going to shoot some like interior stuff, so in like on location stuff like on a rooftop, and then moving into a flat or something, and then editing it all together. So it was like a proper affair, like really, really the full deal. And I think the quote we got, just as a kind of rough guideline, he says, "Well, we don't know the logistics yet, but I'm thinking ballpark round about £2,000." And at the time, I was like, "Okay, yeah. I mean, this is going to be a really good video, and it's probably going to be worth that." I mean, these guys are like professional. I mean, I think they were doing stuff like Tea in the Park, and like they properly knew their stuff. But everyone else in the band was like, "That's ridiculous! So much money! No, we're not going to do it." And they decided against it, and we ended up not doing a video at all, because they were expecting like movie-like quality for in the hundreds. It's like, you're not going to get that. It's just life. You're if someone's really good at something, you just have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But that's for
you gotta spend money to make money.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's the higher end of the spectrum. Bear in mind that was in like 2013, so it was slightly different then. It's more, there was less in the way of amateur home video recording. It was more, that was the very, very end of expensive video was the only way to do it. Now we're not seeing that so much. It seems to be that home recording video is just so popular now, and you can make little videos yourself, relatively inexpensive, and they're really good. Like Liam proved, that was a very inexpensive video, and all his videos are excellent. And it's one camera person, as far as I'm aware. He does the audio himself, and it's just so good. It's as good as you would want it to be. Now, if you're filming some, you watch those old music videos from like the 90s or whatever, it's all this like narrative, the storyline. It's like a film going on in the background of the music video. You see the bands in some warehouse, like dripping rain and stuff, and then you see this like storyline going alongside. If you want to do that, I mean, fair enough. But that kind of thing is always a big budget, and independent solo artists with no financial backing. It's a pretty hard thing to fund and to justify, especially nowadays. So recommendation is to just go and do it yourself. And there are ways of doing it really well. And if you can get someone who knows their stuff but can, it doesn't have to be super complicated. You don't have to have all damn camera angles and all the fancy stuff. You can get some pretty decent stuff for not a lot of money. But yeah, that kind of wraps up what I was wanting to say. Like, just as homework, I'm giving out homework. What am I doing? if you listen to this and you go like, I don't know if it's my thing or whatever, just like next time you have a big Facebook post like, oh, we're going to be recording next weekend, first time in 4 months since lockdown, oh, we're really excited. Don't post it. Just record yourself saying it and then post it. Do that instead. Just honestly, it's such a simple thing you can do right now. The next time you post something, use video all the time. Just do it. And another thing, something we noticed as well when we were doing videos. So we took a camera on tour, and you made a vlog, a really good vlog.
Yes.
Of the journey. So
yeah, I learned a lot from that. There's definitely a lot of things I'm going to do differently for next time. But no, it was a learning experience for sure. So what you can do is, if you're going on tour, vlogging every bit of the journey and then editing it down and then posting it on YouTube or whatever, it's quite entertaining. If you've got a gig or a recording day, update your stories throughout the day on your Instagram using like video. Oh, we're just tracking the drums, awkwardly zoom in on drummer, the usual. But what I was going to say, because everybody listens to, or everybody watches Instagram, scroll through Instagram on mute, they never hear what the person's saying. It's just a video of a guy going mouthing words. I'd recommend, if you can, if you're smart enough, to write in subtitles. That's something that we've done. It's a pain.
It's an absolute pain, but a lot of people don't watch videos on with the speakers on,
or with headphones or anything. Yeah,
it's a lot of the time it's all muted. That's why people put all that speakers on, turn on speakers, little emoji thing in stories or whatever. Like, listen to this. Listen, you have to turn your speakers on. So that's the thing, because if you do a video with you just mouthing things, some people will just not bother. So if there's a little bit of subtitles at the bottom and it's set and it's like, oh, what are they talking about? This is interesting. And then they tap on to turn the sound on. That was just a little thing. But yeah, if you're doing video, do more, and if you're not doing video, do more. So the moral of this episode is do more video. That's it.
Cool.
So yeah, I was going to announce something as well. So we're compiling some things together, some downloadables. We decided to, because we talk so much about different things you can do to help level up your band, in a sense. We're going to start compiling PDFs of things. So the thing we're working on just now is a PDF that you can download on the website, hopefully by the time this episode comes out, a PDF of affordable gear. So this is everything from mic stands, guitar strings, microphones, interfaces, digital audio workstations, MIDI keyboards, just gear that you might think about buying, but you don't know what brand to buy, or you don't know what price range is acceptable. Is £25 for a set of headphones decent? Or should I really spend £2,000 on a microphone? So when I was starting out, I was saying to you before the episode started, like, I spent so much time not knowing what's the brand to buy and why, and just tearing my hair out, like, I don't know what to get, and asking loads of people. So we're making this big list of just all the gear we recommend and brands we recommend, that you can just look to, like, what do Gavin and Julian recommend for guitar cables? Oh, right, that brand there. Okay. Just so there's a list that you can download at www.levelupyourband.com. It'll be on there somewhere. I'm going to try and... It's not up yet. We're still compiling the list, but hopefully by the time this comes out, which will be in a couple of weeks' time. So I need to get a move on with that. And we've got a couple of others, remember the episode we did on the online management tools? I'm going to make that a PDF download as well. You can and it's all free. You don't have to pay for it. So it's just so that it's actually written down in front of you. You can actually, instead of having to go back to the podcast and listen through the whole thing, it's just easier. Yeah. So
cool.
And if there's anything that you guys want us to make a downloadable, something that we've maybe talked about, let us know, and we'll compile it together, because it's hard to decide what to do. So let us know. Let us know if there's anything you want us to compile into a downloadable or just a podcast topic in general. And if you're please be so kind and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, or recommend it to a pal or friend or whatever.
Or if you're watching it on YouTube for whatever reason, like and subscribe on there as well.
Yeah.
Leave a comment.
Yeah. It helps. It helps a lot. And also, Julian has started a YouTube channel of his own.
That's right.
He
yeah, that's true.
You can plug your stuff.
Yeah, that's true. It's my other passion, gaming. So me and my best friend from high school, John, sit and play games and talk absolute nonsense for half an hour every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So
what's the channel called?
That is called. The channel is called Part Timers. It's a little difficult to find at the moment because we've only got 27 subscribers.
Yeah.
So it's not the first thing that comes up. It's a really crappy Smosh series that comes up instead. But hey, we'll break through that eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be playing all sorts of video games in there. More recent ones, there's some older ones, and it's just for fun, really, more than anything else. It's just for a laugh. So come along and
say where you're from.
Tell us what you think.
Coming from the Level Up Your Brand.
Yeah, we will. We can always put a link in the in the episode description or whatever.
Yeah,
people are having difficulty finding it.
Cool. So I think that's it for episode 28, video recording, and no idea what's happening next week. We'll
come up with something.
Yeah. If not, send in your requests. I request your requests. We're almost at 30 episodes. I can't believe we've been doing this for 30. That's almost more than... No, it is 29 weeks, because there was 1 week where we posted 2 videos in 1 week, or 2 podcasts in 1 week, so it's deceiving. Yeah, it's mental. Can't believe.
It's cool, though.
Yeah, it's really cool. So anyway, hope you all have a fantastic week, and we'll see you all next week. So,
right.
Bye.
Bye.